tea, mate. Got the hot chocolate with it.
No, don't get too excited. Just an instant coffee.
Some coffee. The Kiwi.
Unsquashable Premier League Week 3 round 1, the match between Arscott and Conder. Arscott to serve, play when ready.
Game, is it? Shot. You ready? One love. And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to this week 3 of the Unsquashable Premier League. Great to have you with us here at SquashXL in Auckland. It's a terrible day outside, but inside, well, it's a little cool, but not too bad for the players on court right now. And the first match of this week, it is Joel Arscott in the black against the white t-shirt of Jack Conder. And with me now, Chileshe. Tim, great to have you with me. And week 3. Is it getting monotonous, or you're still into it and still going?
Oh, I'm always into it. Definitely into it.
Good stuff. That's what we like to hear.
It's a great day for it. Bad weather outside, so we have to be inside, don't we?
Well, that is one of the great advantages. It is an indoor sport, and it's good to have that right now.
Yeah, exactly. Some huge rallies to start off this match.
Early stages, but yeah, as you said, this is a very long rally.
Yeah.
No one being able to grab the initiative just yet.
What are your predictions for this first game, Dave?
I think Jack has shown us that he's entertaining and everything else, but against someone like Joel, who is consistent, that'll be the downfall for someone like Jack.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see him really have a go and get a game, maybe 2.
Yeah. I think Jack's probably the best person to try and push Joel in the early stages, isn't he, of the first round?
Well, this particular point, there we go, that's down the backhand and then the flick across. Nice drop. Great patience by the 17-year-old, and just as I say, that doesn't work. But that was probably the best, or the most patience I've seen from Jack Conder in this tournament series so far.
Yeah. He's just getting better and better, isn't he? I think.
Yeah. Just got to be careful getting in those corners, don't you, Tim?
Yeah.
But, just a little cooler, and watch those corners. Don't let it drop too low.
No, yeah. Joel's got quite good length on this court as well, so you have to take it quite early. Hopefully we'll be able to get a few more people in the building today.
It's a little bit of traffic mess out there because of people going away for the long weekend in New Zealand with the Queen's birthday weekend. Oh, right, stuck in that corner. So I'm sure we will see a few people come along over this particular weekend. For you, Tim, your first round match, who have you got there? You got Michael Shelton-Agar, haven't you?
Yeah, Michael Shelton-Agar.
A little bit unorthodox.
Yeah. Haven't played him in years, so it'll be interesting. He's been playing quite well.
What about having someone like Lance Beddoes back? And 2 times Commonwealth Games, he may be a little bit out of practice. It'll be good to have another variety of player in there.
Yeah, it's cool to have someone of Lance's calibre in this tournament. Makes it a bit more interesting. Lance is kind of like a wild card in this tournament, isn't he? Shot should be quite cool. See how he's playing. Had his first hit yesterday after about 3 months, I think he said. It was the longest he's had off court, so he might be a bit rusty, but he should get better and better each game as well.
Well, that was another long rally.
Yeah.
The thing is with someone young like Jack, he can be in these long rallies, but he just doesn't quite get the decisive shot, does he?
Yeah. So we've got to be careful with some of these long rallies. You don't tire yourself out and also lose the point. Joel's doing quite well here to actually win these long rallies. Mostly off good length too.
Again, that right in the corner, he's had 2 shots now that he's struggled to get.
Yeah.
Maybe the ball just hasn't come off the back wall, or he's left it too late.
Just shows you what good length does on the glass court in these conditions, doesn't it?
Yeah, nice play there from Joel to get that one. And moving away to a nice early lead. So feel free to tell us wherever you are around the world. Let us know. We know we have one Australian viewer already. In fact, a couple of them. So if you're anywhere else around New Zealand or anywhere else around the world, let us know. And great to have you with us for the opening round of week 3. So game ball here now, and the first game Joel Arscott in the black. Winner of week 2. And there we go. And that is the first game there to Joel Arscott. Certainly a number of long rallies to start with Chileshe, but Jack Conder just a few scrappy mistakes, particularly on the backhand side, it seemed.
Yeah. I think he needs to cut off Joel's good length a little bit earlier, just after that back of the service box, because it seems to be dying in this court tonight. So
right, so the message would be go forward, take it.
Yeah, just try to take the ball a bit earlier than letting it come off the back wall.
All right, well that is the first game there of the first match, and back with the second game in just a moment. We do have 4 good matches throughout this evening. The next match on will be Lance Beddoes against Leo Fatialofa, Elijah Thomas against Glenn Templeton follows, and then Chileshe against Michael Shelton-Agar.
Seconds.
Well, let's see what Jack Conder can do in this, the second game. Started well in the first game, but then fell away as the rallies got longer, and then a few errors as the ball hit the back of the court a bit more as well. And Chileshe, you mentioned at the end of the first game that Jack needs to go forward a bit more or start cutting off the length.
Yeah, start cutting off that length a bit just before it hits the back of the back wall. He's actually done that in this rally a little bit. A few less posts. That's it. Stepping forward is good to see.
Well, I'm not sure about you, Tim, but I can't recall any drop shots so far in this game. Have we had maybe one?
Oh, we've had a few from Jack.
Yeah.
About
Just trying to
maybe
think from
two
Joel,
from
have
Jack. I don't think I've seen one from maybe. No, I don't think I've seen one from Joel yet. No. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. You know, usually you'd see a few more and you recall a few more. But I'm thinking, has Joel actually hit me?
No, I don't think so actually. I think it's length game from Joel.
Yeah, he's been doing really well on the length.
Length for the kill. Jack's favourite shot.
Didn't quite get the power he wanted on it.
No.
There was a couple of opportunities in that rally that he really could have taken authority with it.
Yeah.
That's better.
Especially with someone like Joel, when you don't get that many opportunities. I think Jack needs to try and take a few of those ones.
Better rally.
It's better from Jack stepping up, volleying.
Much better. A bit of variety in there as well.
Yeah.
Mix it up.
I think because Joel's playing a lot of length, Jack should try and just sort of try and move him around a bit. I think that might be Joel's first unforced error of this match.
Just a little bit too close on the wall on that one.
Yeah.
Probably could have moved forward and taken it earlier before it actually stayed with the wall.
I think Jack might be feeling it. It's been a few long rallies, hasn't there?
Yeah. I guess he would have been at school today as well.
Yeah.
It's a good thought.
Yeah, I forget about that as well. This is the end of a week, end of a school week for them, isn't it?
Yeah. Would have only just got back to school from lockdown. Now he's... There's the length again. Oh, nice. Got control of it. Multi-play.
Good running there from Jack.
Yeah. Well, Jack did find himself close to the front wall there where Joel had done a drop shot. Jack got to it and decided to hit it hard back rather than perhaps if you were older you would maybe do another drop shot yourself.
Yeah. Or
seems
maybe just lifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the young
think
guys.
trying to hit their way out of difficult situations rather than using defense to attack.
I mean, it's there to whack. You know, you want to whack.
You want to whack it. Yeah, you want to. Yeah, of course you do.
Another long rally.
Jack needs to try and find his length here.
Almost leaving it too late. That's better. He'd done all the hard work down the backhand side, and then forehand maybe he just tried too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the frustrating thing. You do all that hard work.
And then, then on an easy shot you make an error. Oh, it's a good shot there. Good get though. Ooh.
That was tight.
Yeah, I think that was the right shot there from Jack. Just unfortunately hitting the tin, clipping the top of the tin. Oh.
Just trying to go under the ball too much. He's been doing the little bit of a slice under the ball a few times on both his backhand and forehand, but that time was probably too much.
Probably too much, yeah. That's a bit of lift. That's what he needs.
Good play. Gee, that was unfortunate. There was about three points in there.
That was a great rally there
where
from Jack.
He totally had it.
Yeah.
Hit the tin twice, and I think there was another one there as well, which was below the top of the tin, where really he did have the opportunities for 3 points.
Yeah,
Unfortunate. You play those margins, and they didn't quite come off. And,
you do, yeah. Makes a big difference, though, when you get those 3 points.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of scoreboard pressure and a bit of, showing that you're there.
He started pretty well in that second game. In fact, Jack was down 3-4 at one stage.
Yeah.
But then obviously the points piled on, and Joel Arscott coming away with the second game, and it was 11-3. Back in just a moment for the third game, Joel Arscott against Jack Conder. Into the third game now. Joel Arscott against Jack Conder, and great to have Paul Arscott watching from sunny Brisbane, as he said.
It's good to see Paul commenting, sorry.
Yeah, he's
on the live.
Yes, we've got Leanne there and Paul, and a few other people from around the world as well. Great to have you with us.
It's Joel's biggest fans right there.
So they should be. I'm sure they put a lot of time and effort into it.
Yeah, definitely.
So don't forget that the second matchup tonight is Lance Beddoes against Leo Fatialofa. And the third match, well, that's Elijah Thomas, who made the final here last week, against Glenn Templeton, and then Tim Chileshe against Michael Shelton-Agar. And Tim, when you take on Shelton-Agar, he's a little bit unorthodox to play, and you've got to really keep on top of him, don't you? He's good at comebacks.
Yeah. He's really hard to read, Michael. So you have to stay quite disciplined tonight. Yeah, it should be an interesting affair. We've got quite contrasting styles as well, so should be quite interesting.
Right, so let's see what Jack Conder can do in this one. He started well in actually both the other games, but so far, see if he can keep his head and keep his length as well.
Yeah, great shot. It's the first drop shot I think I've seen.
Yeah,
from Joel. Doing well to move Jack around here.
And great to have a viewer from Rarotonga as well. Also sunny in Rarotonga, thanks for that. Brisbane and Rarotonga are both sunny. There's the question, are you sure? Yes. Yes, the referee standing in for Heather Finlay was very sure on that one. See Joel controlling from the tee, moving Jack all around.
He's doing really well to contain Jack in the back two corners, isn't he? Really dominating the tee area. I think Jack needs to maybe use some height or change something up. That's better.
Yeah. Got him moving for once. His feet were nailed to the ground there in the centre.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's got to be shot of the month there.
Yeah, what would you call that?
It's like Al Shabaggy's shot.
I'm sure he'll be pleased with that.
Yeah.
That's another one of those shots that's begging for something.
Yeah.
Hit me for a winner.
Too hard. Yeah. It's interesting. I've noticed Jack moves his racket in his hand, like he twists it on the backhand sometimes. Like twirls it in his hand, before he hits it. Wonder why he does that.
He also seems to hold it down the grip a bit further. Joel tends to be quite a way up the grip.
Yeah, actually he does that.
Not quite. Just getting a little bit agitated. Jack knows feels he can win a few more points, but just hasn't been able to do that just yet.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good shot.
It's always interesting watching how people hold the racket, some doing a twirl or a twist, others holding it quite a way up the grip, and others quite a way down. There's no right or wrong, it's just very interesting watching how they hold it on different shots as well.
Yeah.
Just staying in. Nice step.
That's great length there.
Nice depth, no bounce.
Yeah. This is what I like about Jack though. He's down 7-2, 2-love down, but he's still fighting. And I think a lot of players would give up at this stage of the match. But you never know. You never know with squash. You can always claw your way back.
I think for someone like Jack playing a match like this, he's had a lot of errors that were perhaps maybe not even forced, just errors when he could have done better. And you want him to get over those errors with experience, the older he gets.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
It's good get.
Yeah, well played.
Good rally.
That was a much better point. Worked it well.
So now he's called back to, what's that, 6-8?
No, that's 8-5.
8-5. Close. Joel just pointing, thinking it was out there. Won the point anyway though.
It's a nice little comeback in this game by Conder.
Yeah.
Good job. Well done.
8-9. Oof.
Gee, that's good to see. It'll give him a bit more confidence as well.
Yeah, he could even clip this game. You never know.
Yeah. That's right. It's a game ball. So has there been a couple of unforced errors from Joel and some better winners from Jack in this one?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good shot. Well done. All right, in 3 games there.
Not quite.
Much better performance in the third, but not to be though in the end. Joel Arscott taking in straight games. Was 11-2, 11-3, and then 11-8. So taking that one in 27 minutes. And no doubt that Jack Conder will be a little bit frustrated that some of the shots that he had, which were his to win, just didn't quite come off too much, Chileshe.
Yeah. I think he did really well in that last game to try and claw his way back, but I think Joel was just really dominant on that tee area and really pushed him into the back 2 corners quite well. And did well there to win that 3-love quite convincingly.
Yeah, so a good win there by Joel Arscott, the winner of the Week 2 competition. Next up on court in about 10 minutes' time will be Lance Beddoes against Leo Fatialofa, followed later on tonight Elijah Thomas against Glenn Templeton, and then yourself there, Timwa Chileshe, against Michael Shelton-Agar. We'll be back very shortly.
Oh, possibly. Teams. Well, that's on SquashXL.
Yeah, right.
Someone's just come in from San Diego.
Who's that?
Someone's just arrived from San Diego. So
Oh, cool.
that's what I'm talking.
It's the audience English guy. So it fires up with, oh yeah, I see him apart from San Diego, yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, you're right. Sunny Brisbane. It's a sort of good.
5-2, left. Five,
That was the old behind the old
Oh,
shebang.
show me?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
5-2, left.
Look at this replay.
Yeah. I'll show it to you later. I've got a change up there. Good on you, bro. Yeah, it's good.
What's the what?
That's good. I think it was a good session.
I was just dropped the first game. I was trying to
Like, that's good.
You first drop shot, like 4-3 in the game. I know. That was my plan too.
That's good. It's good. It's exactly what you should do.
I was just crushing it. I didn't know if I might make either, but
No, no, yeah, you hit some nice open shots. Decent enough.
really only getting more shots.
I mean,
I
actually,
just want to
the
see
thing
how-
is, you made him look a much better player because the structure you were providing made him get true base shots,
Yeah.
which you know, obviously.
I
So it
was
actually
just
looked,
trying to like see.
other than obviously you don't know shit, but it actually looked like decent squash.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you'd gone for more, would have been rained in.
Yeah,
His two
his
just
was
was
so low. His two just was.
he was so good.
I was just going up the front like how you would just punch you at that time.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time.
yeah.
It just killed. It was just eating into his legs. So,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, when I finally played like my first post and drop shot,
It
he
was
was
like-
literally like that.
yeah.
I could see it. I remember when I played my first post, he was just like, no, yeah.
Have you talked to him about this?
Yeah, he does. He said because it's just him and his dad just.
Oh,
you seen his dad play?
Yeah, I'm playing there, yeah.
Yeah, his dad does the same
Thanks
thing.
for that.
So loves squash, which is weird because Jack loves them before.
Yeah, we need to get on the team, because you can't bother.
And like the third set, I started going short and I was just like trying to put the ball like just out of his reach.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So he would get to it and like he'd have to try and get to it because he thinks he can get to a play. You know what I mean?
He's really short.
still part of the fun, isn't it?
I knew he was going to get my commit, so I didn't care. That's what did change the numbers.
I'll give you a commentate.
Okay.
So Jack wants to do it.
Oh, he's
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, sweet ace. That's all.
And then the next one probably Lance commentate or
Yeah, yeah.
regular
Lance.
Lance as a result.
Yeah.
That's not the greatest read. This guy's 10 to 10 versus a line. So it's been good, isn't it? Yeah, it is what it is. No, I look honestly. The thing is, the only sort of what could be better for that for you would be if he was a slightly better opponent, so you could genuinely practice your whole approach. So do you know what I mean? Because it was too easy going him, wasn't it? There's no point. You know, there was no deception because you weren't going through it because I knew you weren't until you do you know what I mean? But otherwise, yeah, it's good. You got to feel for the court. You got to feel for. I thought you had a lot of real good wins. I mean, you have to. When you play, you basically play one for the. You just play one for it. You want a lot of balls, just squeezing the play. You know, just because every shot's good doesn't mean that there's not a lot of good shots there. Doesn't sure. You know? Because the thing is, what can you get out of a game?
I just wanted to see what
You know.
how you do it structured.
Yeah, exactly.
Because these are the types of matches, opportunities, and tournaments like this where you can try this kind of thing and not
Yeah.
really stress.
Well, you're going to get that in the next couple of months if you play local like this, where you're going to get players like Jack or two players. And you can either get them off the court in 2 minutes if there's a reason to do it, and there might be because you've got trained all day and you've got 2 games the next day, or you can do that, right? But we want to get something out of it, which is what you do. You got something. So I like that. I mean, this guy's got to do the same thing mentally. He's got to say, I'm not going to drop a game unless something this might plays amazing. And I'm going to find my game for tomorrow. Because tomorrow, I'm going to go really good. I'm not lecturing you, but that's around you, right?
Yeah.
Now, you may or may not succeed, but that's what you should try and do.
Yeah. I've never really tried to do
Clue's adamant it's going to go ahead. So, did you get your membership or no?
Nah, should I do it tonight?
Oh, yeah. Membership.
Have you entered?
No.
Yeah, why on membership? Interest?
Membership.
Yeah, pretty sure you're into that age. Into is so
It was the 10th.
Maybe. You know, I think Lou was a bit eager.
I reckon I could do that. I reckon I could do this kind of game style in school. That's what I push up to.
Well, you honestly, you genuinely have obviously played slightly higher pace.
Into course.
So,
I went to clubs now.
so, I think he thinks Costco is too.
Yeah, they're pretty into it.
Yeah, I know, but there's a point where, I mean, obviously PSA's doing that. Dave was saying he
Oh,
thinks,
intensive.
Dave was saying he thinks the body won't come off until Dave was saying he said that trans-Tasman travel will come through about mid-August. It's fucking coming. It's okay for us. Yeah. It's okay for us if there's no big place because you watch it.
Maybe I think I might be able to see that.
You can't get a 14 days.
Well, maybe they can
Australians
test
can play the 10K.
No, we'll just wait and see. Look, if there is a flight, let's see how early it is. But then the flight, maybe the flight's early. We'll wait and see. We'll try and figure something out.
At like
What we might have to try is we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. So have you entered? Sure. That would be wise. Joel Arscott, 2, 3, 5, 10 seed, yeah? Decent. Yeah. 13 seed? So the guy's running seed, with John. And Beagle. So if you lose in the team. No way! Yeah. Yeah. So things like that.
Wait, so does that mean if you lose like... Oh, it's only first round.
Yeah.
What if you lose second round and you get played?
No, because he always has a local open, and he has okay prize money, and he always encourages the pros to stay. We didn't stay because we had a flight. You know, we came with a flight spot, so we didn't stay. But Swiggle stayed, so stayed the whole weekend. You know, a bunch of people went out to Tasmania. Yeah. But we didn't do Tasmania because it was easy to work. It's so hard to
every time there was a national tournament in Tasmania, I was going to go.
It's just too hard to do. It's just
We went one time, me and Dad went to
which is a shame. It's a shame, actually. Because it's really hard to do.
Ask my question. If you lose second round,
You do second round, bad luck, son. No. Absolutely not.
what if, so if you lose first round, you get the 10K points and then you've got to stay like bad luck?
Yeah. I mean, it's
Wouldn't it
it's
be better than losing second round?
Well, it depends. You get more tournaments on your advisor and shit.
No, because like
Lose first round, what's that like?
no, because I think it's said like first round 10K is 30 points, isn't it? Or 18 points, then it's 30 points, and then it's 50 points, then it's 80 points. So no, you
Yeah,
generally
18, 30.
no one will wish that.
Second round would be 30 points.
Yeah.
Then first round 18 plus 30 for winning sack.
Yeah, but you know, every innocent and it's complicated, and there's a lot of very suspect assumptions there, champion, which probably won't work.
Who's the rest of play?
No, they draw it. They draw it.
What's my bracket though?
Yeah. So,
nice.
so what happens is these guys have a bye, and then the 8C tier play one of the 8C tier.
Oh, right.
So if you, depending where you probably make the bottom half, but you'll end up playing someone, depending which bracket you're in, you play someone in the opposite bracket, and then the winner plays one of the guys in the top bracket. So you're always going to come up against the top bracket.
Yeah.
Ballage? Yeah, that's all we got, brother. Where's your oppo, son? Is he? He's late, didn't he? What? Do what? Why? He's got a ref.
Tim has to eat.
Hassie will have to do it then. No. Yeah. But you got to cover for Jack. He's your friend, isn't he? It's not my friend. I don't know the guy. No. Get back to work.
Hussey, this is you, mate. This is what you live for.
Get back to work, son.
15, like half an hour.
No chance, bro.
I'll buy your best. Buy your best.
predictions? Prediction?
No clue, man. I've seen Leo play.
I haven't.
No.
Honestly.
Yeah, I've never seen him.
Oh, okay. Wow. There you go, Sam. Yeah, don't do
Is that an actual option?
I'll get into live try the system. Yeah, he'll be whipping in from the sidelines, don't you worry.
Unsquashable Premier League Week 3 round-up match between Fatialofa and Arscott. Here's the
And welcome back for this, the second match of week 3. And an intriguing contest because we have Leo Fatialofa, the 17-year-old in the light blue, against Beddoes, who is in the grey top, well, we're calling it grey. And he is the oldest person in the league here at 27, and a two-time Commonwealth Games representative as well. And hasn't actually picked up a racket until yesterday for about 3 months. And Joel Arscott, this will be fun to watch.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dark horse in this tournament, isn't he? Hasn't played in a while, as you said, but he's a well-known player in New Zealand. You know, he's got some great hands, and as does Leo. So, you know, we've got youth versus experience in front of us today.
Well, when we say experience, he is only 27 years old, which isn't
For this tournament, though, yeah, that
for
is
this tournament. Yeah.
well outside the median.
Lance has been as high as 89 in the world. That was 2015. And nice play there. 2 Commonwealth Games at Glasgow, where he made the quarterfinals of the doubles with Paul Cole, I think it was, and the round of 16 of doubles with Evan Williams on the Gold Coast. So plenty of experience there, and it'll just be perhaps the fitness.
Yeah, definitely.
tell.
I mean, he's been in 2 weeks of quarantine, just came back from the US where he's been coaching this year. So, you know, 2 weeks of being tucked up in a room, can't imagine you can do
Drive
too much
you nuts,
fitness,
wouldn't
yeah. So, be interesting to see how he copes if this match does go past maybe 3 or 4 sets.
Wide use of the court here.
Already seeing a lot of angles and a lot of winners from these two.
I think that's what you're going to see from Lance, is knowing he knows Leo very well, coached him a long time ago. But he knows that Leo's got all the racket skills, so use your brain.
Yeah, he knows Leo's game inside and out. As you can see, running away and reading him very well on the court.
That's the thing you see from experienced players in a lot of different sports. They know how to use the court, how to use the field, or whatever the space of play. They know how to use it rather than just go all out power.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just where you put the ball, but it's how you put it there.
Yep.
Squash is like physical chess, but there is a lot of skill involved in how you carve those balls into those corners.
Also how you use your body as well.
That is another big thing as well.
It's,
And how well you can cover the court,
Yep.
of course.
Oh, kept low. So he's raced away with this one. No long rallies yet, which I think Lance will be very happy about.
Yeah, I think his tactic would be just to try and keep it as short as possible.
Yeah.
He's not
I think they
stupid.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Does the winner of this one have to play you
Yeah,
tomorrow?
they do. Yeah. So. Oh, great shot. Hasn't lost any of his racket skill, clearly.
No. Well, that was quick fire, and I don't know if we quite expected to be quite that quick, but it was good to see the skills there and the angles, and just knowing where to put the ball and where to put his body as well. So Lance Beddoes coming through that one, and that was quite straightforward in the end, 11-4 for that one. So taking the first game back shortly with the second game, Leo Fatialofa showed a few glimpses of brilliance, but it just didn't quite come off in the end in that first game. But then with Leo, you're never really too sure what to expect after time. So in the second game, well, we'll keep our eyes open as Lance. Let's see how fit he is.
Yeah, good test.
A nice touch there to start the second game. Lance Beddoes there with very good touch on this one. Back from Philadelphia, and then we see the good touch coming back from Leo Fatialofa.
It's probably been, 30 seconds? There's two winners straight off the bat. And again.
Yeah, we're probably not going to get the long points here, but we're going to get some spectacular winners.
As soon as there's a loose ball, it's just going straight into the front of the court.
Leo just like, oh well.
Again, very fast counter. Quick hands in the front.
Yeah.
Leo looking a bit faster off the tee in this set already.
Not much you can do about that either.
No, there's no chance of getting that one.
The risk factor in that, because it hit just millimetres above the tee. High risk.
How short it stays on this court. It's so hard to play against. Almost the identical shot there from Lance in the backhand. Very hard to read. Oh, we got it. I'm not opting for the second one though.
Yeah.
I find these two actually have quite similar techniques. Lance obviously coaches Leo, but just the way they prepare to hit the ball is quite similar, and their game style actually. Different builds obviously, but very similar technique.
Well, they've known each other for a long time. And I'm sure Lance coming back into the country is surprised that Leo has grown even more over the last few months.
Probably wondering when it will stop.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. It certainly is good to have players with experience coming back in New Zealand, and whether it's playing just this tournament or others, it adds to the variety. Some of you guys must get sick of playing the same people.
Oh,
Yes,
sure.
you know, this tournament series is the same players mostly, but it is good to have variety, and you have to think about how you're going to play them.
It's good to have a bit of a wild card thrown in there, like Lance, experienced guy.
And one of the tournaments that Lance won on the PSA Challenger Satellite Tour was in Australia at the Bigger Open.
Yep.
I believe you might have played that, or you certainly know of it, don't you?
I
The
know
Bigger
of
Open?
it. The Australian Open is meant to be happening there in Bega this year, which I have entered. Whether it goes ahead or not, I'm not sure. But Yeah, that tournament's been around a long time and well-known tournament.
And as we've seen of these 3 tournaments so far,
Oh, well done.
nice play. Nice play. I was just about to say, as we've seen in the first 3 tournaments, or 2 and a bit tournaments, the first day we don't get too many calls or questions, and then as it comes into day 2, and then certainly the final
sort
day,
of
there's
heats
questions.
up, doesn't it? Yeah. Players feel their way into more matches. Obviously, it gets tougher, or matches get closer as the rounds go on. I'm not sure how many 5-setters we've seen in the first round.
Yeah, that's a good point.
From memory.
Just a couple, I believe, maybe.
Elijah and Glenn on the first week, maybe.
Probably.
Can't remember any others. So Leo's got a 3-point buffer here. 9-6, I believe the score is. One game, all will be very interesting.
Let's see on the serve here, using the forehand.
Just the slightest of pauses there from Lance.
Yep.
As we said, he's that experienced guy. He knows his way around the court, so you might see a little bit of gamesmanship,
I'm sure we will.
which you probably won't see from many of us young players, but he definitely throws that into the mix.
Yeah. Now this is good to see, and it's also good for someone like Fatialofa to play against someone experienced,
Yeah, 100%.
rather than play against under 20s.
Well straightened.
Nice play. So the second game going to Fatialofa, got out to a reasonable lead and was able to continue. Nothing too spectacular for him. I mean, his usual play, we should say. Always a few winners here and there, but kept it consistent. And as you said, it should be quite an interesting third game just to see which way it's going to go, whether Lance will be able to pull out the experience or Leo stays with it.
Yeah, there's not much momentum really going in either of their ways. I think the third set will be very interesting, both of them just sort of finding their corners now, so be very interesting. Still only up to the 12-minute mark almost, so not super physical for either of them, but yeah.
Quick 5 points. All right, coming back with the third game in just a moment's time.
It's like an egg. So. Yeah, it looks like an egg. It is an egg. I said an omelette, of course. Oh. How many eggs have you had today? Who said bagel? What do you think I said? Who said bagel? How many eggs have you had today? 2 eggs. Honestly? 5. 5? Yeah. And then this week, last 7 days? 30 something? We need to get you tested, bro. For COVID. You need to
Game score is 1-0.
cholesterol.
Well, I hope you're enjoying this coverage so far of Week 3, the opening day of the Unsquashable Premier League. And with me, Joel Arscott, who won his first round match today in straight games over Jack Conder. And Joel, we were mentioning that we're not going to see too many long rallies here between these two.
No, as
Probably.
you see, straight into it there. What, 7 shots? I mean, we're 2 games, 1 game apiece already, and it's only 13 minutes. There we go again, 3-shot rally, straight into the front of the court. certainly it's a type of court that can be played like that, as we've said time and time again. Getting colder here in New Zealand as well, isn't it? So there's that to factor in as well.
So much for the drought in Auckland over the last 3 days, but
Yeah.
one of those things.
Oh,
That's a great touch.
Lance will be enjoying that one.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful lob there from Leo. Get his racket under it and just flicking it over Lance's head.
Well, that was one thing you were doing in your match in the first 2 games in particular, playing into the corner, particularly the backhand corner, winning a number of points there using the length.
Had a pretty obvious tactic in my match.
Yeah, we could
today.
see it.
Yeah.
Now, these two players were just a little bit of a chat before, nothing bad.
Yeah. Lance is renowned for his his chatter.
On and off the court.
Yeah. Great sense of humour on him. Always a good guy to share a beer with afterwards.
Who would be the player in the top 10 for the men who talks a lot? Is there one or two?
Certainly on the world tour, he would have been up there when he was on tour. Good reputation for banter.
What about in the top 10 now? Is there one player that we see with the men?
In terms of banter,
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably say Paulie, to be honest. Paul Cole.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know much about the Egyptians, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah, you could see Paul with a bit of West Coast sense
Yeah.
of humour that no one would understand.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a patriotic guy as well. There we see it again from Lance. We see now actually in the top 10, don't we? Well, not just the top 10, but the top players adding these nicknames and giving them sort of characters, which I think is great for the game, and we've kind of adopted that here, haven't we?
Well,
But
you played the pinball.
yes, pinball definitely suits him. That's a good example. I think my nickname's a Rocket. I'm not sure where or how I got that, but I'll take it as a compliment.
I think we can say that Tim doesn't like eating vegetables. I don't know what it's going to happen. I've yet to see him eat vegetables the whole time here. So let's see what Lance can do. That's usually everybody's favourite shot, isn't it? Get it on the
Yes, I'll
volley.
be straight to the racket. Straight drop. Or just needs to be up that one.
Yep. Again,
Just as I say that.
and again, dying in that backhand corner. If you can pin it there, you've got it.
Yeah, the ball's taking a length at the moment, isn't it?
There you go.
The ball's just dying off, not bouncing at all for either of them.
I do believe we have a viewer from San Diego. We know we've got some from Australia. Also Rarotonga.
Oh, great shot.
All right. You don't agree with that one?
Lance just saying he'll take a lead on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe feeling a little bit lucky. I thought it was a really strong counter drop there from
Yeah.
Leo, staying very short, but ref thinking it's in reach. Serve down the middle. There you go.
Well, nice little comeback there by Lance. Let's just see what happens in these next few points.
got 2 game balls.
He was down, having to really force his way back into this particular game. Let's see what he can do. Let's use the experience.
Oh, Leo's on the ropes. Oh,
Such.
it's probably the longest rally we've seen.
Exactly. It's been great though. Changes of direction.
You can hear the intensity. It just went through the roof.
And probably the best rally, or one of the best rallies to finish off that game, as Lance Beddoes takes it 11-8 and goes up 2 games to 1 in this the second game of, what is it, week 3? And already, Joel, you won the first game over Jack Conder, and we have one that we know is always going to be tough and long, perhaps. Elijah Thomas against Glenn Templeton, and finally tonight, Chileshe against Michael Shelton-Agar. Some good matches tonight, Joel.
Yeah, Glenn and Elijah had a 5-setter on the first week. Obviously this match being 2 games to 1 to Lance, who's the wild card this week, sort of the dark horse coming in after his quarantine. And then obviously Michael, who's been pinching sets left and right, versus Timwa on the late shift. So that will be another interesting one.
Yeah, so plenty of good squash to come tonight in the first round. Don't forget, tomorrow from 3 p.m. at New Zealand time until around about 6. And then on Sunday, the same for the finals of week 3, 3 p.m. until 6.
You don't need to chase it.
15 seconds. Lance leads 2 games to 1. Lance is first.
And it's 2 games to 1 to Lance Beddoes here against Leo Fatialofa. Lance talking through the points, win or lose. And then trying a massive chop on that one, which unsuccessful. So 2 quick points to Leo Fatialofa. But Lance does have the 2 game to 1 lead. Pretty much racing through it so far, Joel.
Yeah, some pretty quick exchanges, but that ball's just so dead on there, and the boys taken full advantage of that. Went for it there.
Yeah. And as we've said, Joel, it may not be your textbook squash, but it's entertaining and there's plenty of shots, winning shots.
Yeah.
Or shot making.
You got 2 shot makers, then you've got the older experienced guy versus the young up and coming player. So it's a very good contrast in age, and then also
10
you've
years
got
difference.
Yeah, you also got the style, which is attacking. So I mean, depends what kind of squash player you are, what you like to watch, but certainly ticks a few boxes in terms of the entertainment factor.
And so this is the only permanent glass court in New Zealand here at SquashXL, and used for a lot of training. All the players like it on this court.
I think we're very lucky to be on this court, to be honest. Not very often you get to see tournaments of this size, or lower level tournaments played on an all glass court. It's pretty much seen as something that's only reserved for the top players.
And Joel, we have been told that 27 is not that old.
Well,
It
you
is in
can't
this tournament.
disagree, but in the circumstances, he's well outside of our median age.
So what you are seeing here is shot makers. In the next match with Elijah Thomas and Glenn Templeton, you will see longer rallies, no doubt. It's just the different styles of players, and that's what makes it so much fun, is to see different styles all the time.
I think also being New Zealanders got a bit of a reputation now, as Paul Cole flies the flag up there as an extremely physical player. So this is a quick reminder that we have other talent on our shores.
Right, you weren't going to get that.
Big swing, no ding there on that one.
And Lance has been to 2 Commonwealth Games, has been ranked top 100. We could be going to a 5 here.
Yeah.
It'll be a short 5 though.
Shouldn't speak too soon. We're still under the half an hour, well under the half hour mark.
Yeah.
You can just see there though, it's just so hard to get that ball out of the corners.
Yeah.
Whether it's the front or the back. You're digging out of the front or out of the back, or reaching out of the front.
So how do you get away with that? You've just got to try and go forward all the time?
You got to try and take the ball before it gets to any of the corners. So try and volley and step up as much as you can. Try and be the one initiating, just like that. You don't want to be stuck behind, as Leo was there.
At one stage, you were really dominating the tee. You were controlling that. You felt good about that. You knew what you were doing in your match.
Yeah, I mean, I love to take the ball early and play at a fast pace. That's definitely my style. Play straight, quite traditional. So yeah, I was getting a few balls in my racket and just trying to find my line of length in my match. The theme in this one though seems to be 1 or 2 lengths. First to get it past and then go short straight away. Oh. Very big points coming up here.
Oh, that almost came off.
He went for it there. It's worth a gamble, to be honest. 9 all, 2 on up.
That was one heck of a gamble, though.
Yeah. He's got it. Oh! Wow. Very, very entertaining. I don't know how he got that ball back, but he
I actually don't know either.
Definitely thought he got it.
Yeah.
But Lance not enjoying that one. It just seemed to get clinched away from him there, didn't it? And then the ball just flew straight past his head.
Yeah, no, he definitely got it. Yeah. We've actually just seen a delayed replay of that. And
Wow.
there's a little bit of disbelief. Good court coverage there by Leo Fatialofa, and it's now 2 games apiece. So congratulations there for Fatialofa coming back and forcing it into 5. Back with the 5th very shortly.
And there's no 2 points. So, yeah, so if you win 13-12, you win 13-12. You don't have to keep going until it's a 2-point game. But I know they took it out of the game or whatever, but for this tournament, just for a bit of fun, it kind of just brings back that sort of, because it's always fun to see what people pick, you know, and it tells you something about how they think about the game, and it's quite funny actually. So I think the first one was Leo, and of course he went short. And I think Leffer had one, he went short, you know what I mean? Whereas Jack gets one, he goes long, you know what I mean?
Does Jack always go long?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Surely goes to 10 all. Am I allowed to end? Am I allowed to end it on a call if that happens?
That
15 seconds.
Is that Paul good job?
Well, ball's good, bro.
I saw Paul good last.
Well, we've been enjoying this match so far as it goes into the 5th. And the last ball in particular with Leo Fatialofa covering the court extremely quickly. Not sure, Joel, if Lance actually asked, was that a let or did he really get that?
Yeah, I think he was appealing both in desperation there at the end of that set. I don't blame him, though. It was an amazing pick-up, and then, the squash IQ of Leo to go down the middle was pretty impressive in that full stretch. So, all tied up again, though, in this set. Very interesting.
You've got to feel with Leo Fatialofa is that he has so much talent.
Yep, definitely.
How can you harness it? I know it's a big year for him at high school as well.
Yeah, of course.
And being a disrupted year doesn't make it easier.
I think unless you're in a really good program in school, which, we've got good coaches here in New Zealand, but unless you're in a really good institution or school that really supports squash, it's hard to really flourish.
Yeah, I mean, just that, the exams, the pressure of being a prefect as well,
yeah.
At a high school like Auckland.
I mean, Australian and Kiwis are known to peak a little bit later, and I think that's part of it. Certainly. Oh my!
Great hats.
What a rally! Again, finishing with a nice drop shot into the front.
What would have been interesting is to actually see Fatialofa at the World Juniors this year, to see his improvement, if there hasn't been an improvement for the last couple of years.
I think he's going to 2 World Juniors already at 17, which is pretty crazy. But again, yeah, it's still got such a long way to go.
Nice touch.
Again, front right corner.
Just picked it up in a couple of points here in the 5th. Maybe it's Leo going, I don't want to lose to this older, more experienced player who used to coach me years ago.
Great shot there from Lance. Lance just wanting to be sure on that one. Found the nick very well though on that forehand drop shot. Oh, great length.
Plenty of power to push it right back.
Just got to find those corners, don't you? And they're very rewarding.
Great coverage, but no good in the end. we hope you've been entertained so far, because we have in this particular match, into the 5th. We've been going for 34 minutes.
Wow.
That's one of the faster 5
Very
sets.
impressive timing.
I'm not sure what you'd say if you're a coach watching this.
Yeah, I mean, try and find those back corners is what I'd be saying personally. Got to really use that front wall to get through the back. But these guys, you know, they've shown us. Wow. Just off the frame, that one. These boys showing us that they can hit winners from anywhere in the court, so they're a nightmare to play against on a court like this in these conditions.
Well, Lance thought he had it won, and 90% of the time he would have.
Somehow Leo getting his racket to it. Leo still trying to play the ball when he's on the floor. This is just a joke, isn't it?
Great angles.
Oh, what?
That was a tough call for Leo.
Yeah.
Lance might have suckered one in there.
Bit of a lifeline there for Lance. So can he make the most of it? Oh. So it's heating up a little bit now. 6-5. Just sort of waiting for it to erupt, aren't we? Oh, he tins it. Just had to be up, didn't it?
Nice touch.
Oh, he's done it.
You know, we don't actually need to say anything. We've got Lance down there who can call the whole match for us.
Practically commentating himself, isn't he?
Exactly.
Big movement there from Lance.
Who was there ready and it just died?
That
Well, I thought he was.
lunge was almost in slow motion there. Very tough movement. Oh.
This is the thing for Leo. If he can keep his head, not try and play anything too much from the back of the court there.
He's got to try and not let
And don't let Lance
get into him. Yeah, definitely. Oh. He's pulled out a little lead here, 9-7. Last minute fight back from Leo. Will we see it?
Right in the corner. Right in the join.
That's a serious lifeline. Someone's watching over Leo right now. Still the lead though for Lance. pretty tense stuff here. So the pressure's mounting, isn't it?
Oh, what would you have given there?
Oh, I would have gone with the lead as well, to be honest. He was moving in that direction, to be fair to him.
Yeah. Yeah. you can't ask for a call on that one, Lance. It was a double.
So 2-all, 9-all. Big point here. Got to get this serve on the sidewalk. Oh, just as I say that. Oh! Oh! Wow, what a shot. Probably the fastest reactions I've ever seen.
Incredible array of shots here and reactions as well.
Can he convert? Oh my God!
If you're not entertained, well, there may be something wrong with you.
Oh, Lance has got the option here.
Okay, so we're going long.
Yeah, wasn't expecting that one, that choice from Lance.
Remember, we're going to 13 here on the long, and it's 11-10. Gee, almost. Oh, quite careful there, Leo.
Hand up, 11-12, match 4.
It's cold enough, Lance, it'll be fine.
So Lance crawls one back. Still playing to 13 though, so
Yeah,
Leo still with the
with
match
the
ball.
match point.
If it goes to 12-all,
Oh, no. It wouldn't surprise me if it does, with a couple of sensational shots.
you just don't know what's going to happen, do you? It's like a lottery at this point, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, certainly very entertaining and lots of shot making. If you haven't enjoyed it, well, I won't say there's something wrong with you, but perhaps just smile and enjoy what we've seen so far. 27-year-old there, Lance Beddoes, against the 17-year-old Leo Fatialofa. And well done, Leo Fatialofa gets it in the end with a shot down the line. John Arscott, was that what you expected?
I mean, I didn't really know what to expect towards the end of that set, but did expect it to end suddenly or with something like that. So, yeah, Leo doing well there to clinch that one.
Yeah, it was entertaining all the way through, and well done to Leo Fatialofa. 13-11 in the fifth over Lance Beddoes, so well done there. And now we will have Elijah Thomas against Glenn Templeton as the third match of the night, and Joel Arscott. Well, congratulations on your win today, and I'll let you go and get a little bit warmer. But thank you very much for sitting through that game, and I think you smiled quite a bit as well.
Plenty of pleasure. Cheers.
Don't let anyone else tell anyone else.
Am I all good to go now?
Yeah, cheers, bro. Thank you. Thanks very much. 40 something minutes, 5.
Lancey will be a bit sore after that.
I suspect so. So I do. I do indeed. that's no. Just call it. At the end of the day, if they both hate your decision, it's a good sign. It's only if one of them hates it, then don't worry. Boss baby is back.
Shot. We're into match number 3. It is Elijah Thomas in the fluoro green shirt against Glenn Templeton in the blue shirt, serving now. And these two players clashed many times over the years and even in this tournament as well. It was Thomas who made the final of week 2. And Templeton, who won the under-19 nationals over Elijah Thomas in 5 games last year. And already tonight we have seen a couple of entertaining matches, with John Arscott winning in 3 games against the pinball Jack Conder, and then Leo Fatialofa prevailing 13-11 over Lance Beddoes in the second match. And quite an entertaining spectacle that was. And now Leo Fatialofa on the scoreboard. Nice touch. What you'll see from these two players is a lot more textbook squash compared to particularly the last contest with Beddoes and Fatialofa. So you will see a lot more backhand rallies. You won't see the winners quite like what we saw in the last match. Both of these players with world rankings. Elijah Thomas, around about 257 in the world. 100 places better than Glenn Templeton. And joining us very shortly will be Lance Beddoes to take us through his match and have a look at this match in particular. Oh, shot. Moving forward and taking the forehand volley to put it away. See what Elijah Thomas can do from here. Great change of direction in the end there for Elijah Thomas. Plenty of drops, plenty of recovery from Glenn Templeton, but in the end, Thomas taking it with a nice deceiving shot there on the forehand. And some good movement around the court there from Elijah Thomas to win that point. Templeton again trying to use his very deft backhand drop shot. Changed the pace a couple of times in the rally. Too much. Don't forget that Elijah Thomas did make the final here last week. And a very close final it was against Arscott. So the first game won by Elijah Thomas over Glenn Templeton. And that was 11-5. We'll be back for the second game in just a moment, and also Lance Beddoes will join us and have a little chat about his match, and also we'll talk about squash in general and this match as well. So back in just a moment. And getting underway now for game 2. This match between Elijah Thomas in the green and in the blue it is Glenn Templeton from the Bay of Plenty. And joined now by Lance Beddoes. Great to have you back in the country again and great to have you around the squash court. That one didn't quite go the way you wanted, but you couldn't get any closer, could you?
I know. To be honest, I was just happy to get on court again. It's probably the longest time in my life since starting squash that I haven't actually been on. It's been almost 3 months for me. So I was just kind of happy to be on there, happy for a good match. Probably would have been happier to win, but that's all right.
Well, there was certainly plenty of shot making in your match. Some of it unorthodox. I mean, you know, with Leo Fatialofa, he's a shooter. He's a shot maker.
Yeah.
He's not going to stay in massive long rallies.
Yeah.
But I guess that's your style as well.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean, I've kind of done a fair bit of work with Leo. I think for around 10 years now, when I've been back in the country anyway. So, I mean, he kind of plays a bit similar to myself, I guess, which, especially at the moment when I'm not that keen on long rallies, it probably suits me in a way, other than when he hits perfect winners. But I mean, it's fun to be on court. It was fun to play him. I don't actually think I've played Leo in a proper match before.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean.
So I'm not going to count this one.
Yeah. Well, he's 17,
Yeah.
growing very tall,
Yeah.
and can hit a winner from almost anywhere. It
Yeah.
seems.
No, like I said, he's a skillful player. I think he's kind of always been a skillful player, but definitely the last couple years he's brought in a few extra shots into his game, and I think when he gets it right, he's very dangerous.
Well, he gets around the court so quickly as well.
Yeah.
Very athletic.
Yeah, he's quick. A couple of them were a bit dodgy, but I'll let him have it today.
Yeah, there was we were watching. It was entertaining to watch. Nice shot there, Elijah Thomas. Yeah, always entertaining to watch, and also, you know, for a time we actually shut up here because you were doing the commentary yourself, so that was all fine.
Just needed to take an extra little break in there.
What about this match? You would have seen both of these players in the past.
Yeah, I've actually seen them play each other quite a few times over the years, and they usually go to 5.
Yeah.
I think I saw Elijah win the other week, but Glenn had got a couple of wins over him.
Well, the
in
under-19
recent
champs
years.
last
Yeah, he
year.
won nationals. I saw that. But they're always evenly matched. They play really different game styles, I think, which makes it quite entertaining to watch. And anyone can take it really on any day.
How did you find the back corners? A few times the ball does die there, so you really do have to take the ball early.
Yeah, I've played on these courts quite a lot. Like I said, I haven't played at all. I haven't been on court for about 3 months, and I haven't been on a glass court probably since this court a fair while ago. But
So
semi-used to it, so it was all right.
And the club you were coaching at
Yeah.
for a while in Philadelphia?
In Philadelphia, yeah, the Kinwood Club it was called. Yeah, I was working there for a couple months, and then COVID-19 happened, and it's been all shut down for a little while. So made the decision to come home instead, where it's probably safest at the moment. So yeah.
Great recovery.
Strong rally from Glenn now.
Well, when Glenn wants to hit it hard, he can hit it hard, can't
Yeah, definitely. He's got a long reach, and he's got a good hold as well. So if you give him some time on the ball, you're in trouble. Well, they're both tall lads now. I think everyone in this bloody tournament is tall.
I think it's we've been giving Tim a bit hassle about being the most non-looking squash player.
Yeah, true. I think that's probably me at the moment, but
Yeah, you're in there as well.
at least I look good. It's all right.
Yeah, Elijah Thomas has certainly shot up over the last less than a year, and Glenn's always been fairly tall.
Yeah, I think he was taller than me when he was about 6.
Ooh, I had that one.
He's usually quite strong in that front backhand corner. He's got a good little counter drop on him, Elijah.
Last week, Elijah was very pumped up and made it through the final.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very close to actually winning that. Both the players in that final were pumped up.
Yeah, I saw all of his matches last week, and like you said, he definitely was fired up. Got a good win against Timor, obviously. So it should be another interesting weekend.
When Glenn's able to dominate that tee like that, with the power that he can get off either side, he really does have a very good advantage, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think when Glenn gets it right, he's very dangerous. And if he can kind of put that together through more and more matches, he's going to win more matches. Like I said, he's got a really nice hold. Nice.
Turned that one around, didn't he,
Yeah.
Elijah?
Yeah, that's Glenn's kind of only problem is that sometimes he tends to slightly overdo it, rather than kind of just take it early now and then and just play the simple shot. He's always looking to finish on a hole or something.
Yeah. It's almost too much power.
Yeah. Especially with Elijah getting more and more consistent these days. Can't give him. Oh, that is very nice. Good little topspin there.
One thing from Elijah that he's probably needed is the power to finish off some points quicker.
Yeah, definitely.
Although he's getting stronger, not necessarily bigger, but he's getting taller.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment his game plan is definitely consistency. He's probably the fittest in this tournament. Oh, that is a great finish.
Whew. There wasn't much you could do against that shot. And just hit it down with power. It wasn't going to bounce
Straight
up
in
that
the
much
net.
at all.
Another good finish there from Glenn.
So, question there, Lance. How did you find the short and long? You got the choice on the 5th, whether
I
to go
know.
short or long.
I've been watching this the last couple of weeks, so luckily I knew what it was all about.
Because a few times, like in the first week,
Yeah,
a couple of players
long didn't work for me, but I don't think short would have worked either because he won that one as well.
Oh, well, there you go.
I tried to talk my way into the match, but I'm going to have this one.
It makes for a bit of fun though. when
Sitting
the
over
players-
in the referee box smiling because he knows this is potentially his only victory over me. It's
Well,
all right.
Leo did a short a couple of times. I'm sure it was. Yeah, he did. Yes, he did a short, and it worked. I think. Yeah, it's. Do you take the risk and finish it quick, or do you go for the longer and see what can happen? Right. Well, we'll be back with game number 3 in just a moment.
No, it's a good call in the sense he won this point. So,
No, I wouldn't have got that shot up. I wouldn't have. I would have just went for the. Now I got the bragging right.
The good thing is now your dad might start putting money on our games.
it's a long game. For sure. Yes, what's for you, man? It's very entertaining match overall. But yeah, first one obviously. Put him on the hop. Serious?
Turning back now with games at 1-1, Glenn Templeton in the blue against Elijah Thomas in the green. And in the second game, last Beddoes, it was the power of Templeton which won a number of points for him.
He's had a lot of good finishes there. He used his hold well. Took it short nicely as well. A great finish there. Probably the best I've seen Glenn play actually in the last couple of weeks. He hasn't been quite as good as I've seen him in the past, but today he seems pretty focused. Moving well as well actually, which is key.
The thing is, people had made some comments over the commentary about, or some of the comments coming through from around the world, that he didn't seem to move that well. The thing is, he's a big guy,
he is.
And he can cover the court very well.
Got him.
It was almost nonchalant the way he hit there, just put his racket there. And
Short swing.
yeah.
Played it.
There's the corner. Oh.
That's what Elijah needs to do, just jump on the ball nice and early, not give Glenn time. And Glenn's the opposite. He wants to probably slow it down, you know, make Elijah stop on the tee. That's a great counter drop.
Yeah, that's a good point, that they have to do the opposite to win.
Pretty much. I think it'll be interesting over the coming years to see who can really get on top of the other one.
Exactly.
I think they generally take turns winning.
Yeah.
And I think Leo's kind of in the same batch as them. They're all 17, 18.
So from your background, from when you've played satellites and futures and other tournaments, these two now, what level are they at, or what level can they get to within a short space of time, assuming tournaments do come back?
That is a very good question. Honestly, it's...
With what they've got, with the power and with the ability?
They've got a lot. They've both got a lot of talent. I think in New Zealand we tend to get a lot of strong players throughout our juniors, and then just breaking through that next level is very tough. I think without having the other top players, a number of top 100 players in New Zealand, it makes it tough to really strive for that next level sometimes, or just to actually know what that level is.
Particularly with not so many tournaments this year.
Yeah,
anywhere that we know of.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a tough time to be a pro at the moment. Time will pass though, and they'll get through it. But I think at the moment it's quite tough. But like I said, they're both talented players. If they want it bad enough, I think they can both do well.
Because I was just thinking about these 2 and 5K tournaments or 10K tournaments. The Auckland Open this year, they played in that, and it was a wide variety of players. It was won by a Korean player, I think it was Korean, or Hong Kong.
Did Evan win? No.
And then against Evan Williams.
Yeah, that's
Evan
right.
was in the final there. You know, they've had their turns at that.
Yeah.
We just want to see them doing it more.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I mean, for myself anyway, I felt, years ago, I felt like I could be playing quite strong, and then I'll play someone from another country, someone that I don't know, and there's a few maybe shots, or even just the fitness or just the pace that you don't quite expect. And if you don't get that regular enough, it's hard to push yourself in training and to kind of get there. But there has been overseas players come to New Zealand more and more, I think, over the last few years in particular, which helps. And I would guess that in the not too distant future, they'll probably both get overseas just to check it out and see different coaches over the years and see different players. We got it. Good battle here, actually. Good battle.
Yeah, no one really grabbing it by the scruff of the neck and saying, this is mine yet.
No.
Well, they're not allowed to yet. Each player is keeping themselves in there.
Yeah. it's nice to see them kind of fighting for every point. It's not always the easiest on a Friday night, kind of almost in winter in New Zealand. Especially after not playing that much, or at all really, over the last couple months. But I think they're both doing pretty well.
7 or 8 weeks without competitive play, or any play.
Yeah.
And then this is now their third tournament.
Well, there's a good bunch of young Kiwis at the moment, kind of from 17 to 20, 21. So they're all kind of pushing each other.
Yeah, there's a few others around the country as well.
Yeah, definitely. Finish, and what's he done to himself? Hopefully he's alright here.
Yeah, just a bit tight there. Let's see what happens. It's a nice shot. I'm just waiting to see. It seems to be okay. May try and play it out, but we'll see what happens on that. Let's see whether he can put any weight on the leg.
Good finish from Elijah.
So hopefully Glenn Templeton is okay. Seems to be a bit tight through the groin at the present time. And noticing that Elijah Thomas is putting plenty of height on the serves.
Yes, he's using a lot of good mixture here. Yes. Shots.
So Elijah Thomas taking the third game and now leading by 2-1 against Glenn Templeton, and we're not too sure about Templeton there, just how he's feeling after that. Seemed to be a bit of a shudder on his feet, and maybe something with his groin. I'm not sure. The answer.
I don't know. He looked a little sore on that rally, but hopefully he comes back strong here, because it's been a good match at the moment. Actually, very good match.
And Glenn Templeton appears to be okay. Certainly wants to carry on with this match against Elijah Thomas. Templeton in the blue. Just appeared to shudder and maybe tweak his groin a little bit, or upper leg at some stage in the last couple of points. As Elijah Thomas took the third game to lead by 2 games to 1. And Lance Beddoes, it's been a good game.
It has been a very good game. I'm hoping Glenn's going to be all right here, because I want another good game. But I think Elijah's looking pretty strong at the moment, so he's going to have to do something special to come back here.
Nice.
And that is pretty special.
That was pretty special, yeah. Played the backhand side, kept on playing it, and Elijah Thomas was expecting something to move to the forehand. Now Templeton played it down the line one more time. There's that lope around the court.
Great lob there. Leo slightly nervous to make that call.
Well, that's a sort of punishment. You know,
That's what he gets. That's what he gets for beating me.
Yeah, that's
He's
the
in the ref
punishment.
chair.
Win and you umpire. In some other sports, it's lose and you umpire.
Yeah. I'm actually very happy that he took the sheet out. I think if I won, I still would have made him do it anyway, but
You're still wounded about
that comes
that.
with age.
Losing 13-11 in the fifth last bit.
I
You're
don't
going to be
mind,
wounded about that.
I don't mind.
So Lance, you were mentioning the tactics that each player should do, and they were opposite for each player. So what do we have for Glenn Templeton to shorten the rallies?
It's just to control the pace, I think. He's got good hands, but like I said, sometimes he slightly overdoes it. But he probably has one of the best holds. And
For Elijah?
Elijah, I think it's just adding the pace to it. Not necessarily hitting the ball harder, but just taking it early. I don't think he has to do too much. I think if he keeps it pretty straight and pretty simple, he's going to be in good shape to take this one at the moment. But like I said, they always do seem to go to 5. Glenn maybe slightly tired at the moment, on the back of a couple of hard rallies.
Well, don't forget, if you are watching this match or any of the matches so far tonight, let us know your thoughts. There's the reach forward on the backhand with that very long reach that you can just drop it. But let us know if you are watching anywhere around the world and your thoughts on the matches. We certainly had plenty of entertainment, plenty of fun watching Lance against Leo Fatialofa.
Be interesting to see if Glenn can come back here. A couple of good finishes for him. Probably needs another point or two to really get himself back into it. Oh, that is a delightful hold.
Yeah, that's try and pick where that's going, and
Yeah.
hitting so low above the 10 as well.
Yeah. If you're putting the ball in the middle against Glenn, you're in trouble.
And a couple of sensational shots to win
The
those
ball-
last two
The ball's
rallies.
slowing down a bit here, and he's taken the ball in very well. Elijah's going to have to really push up and keep the pressure on.
as though he had an injury near the end of the third game, but a lot of running in that point. It seemed okay.
Yeah. Again, like I said, with the ball just slightly dying now. Both the lads need to push up the court more and more. That's going to hurt. You got that one.
So there we go, folks. 10-6. There's a game ball.
Oh, not a bad finish that. There's a few more of those.
He just seemed so casual on that one.
He was very casual. I think he might take a few risks here. Another good finish. 2 match balls saved.
Yeah.
See what he can do here.
And both seem to be almost lackadaisical.
Yeah, they are. They are. That'll do
There
it.
we go. That'll do it. Well done there. In 4 games to Elijah Thomas. Good match. And Elijah Thomas through to the next round. Glenn Templeton. Almost, but not quite. So a win. And that was 11-7 in the 4th. And coming up not too far away, we will have Chileshe up against Michael Shelton-Agar. And Lance Beddoes, just your thoughts on that particular contest?
It was a good match. Elijah was looking strong throughout. Glenn did well actually to win the second, I thought. The shots really came off, but in the end I think Elijah was probably just a bit too solid there throughout.
All right, and just finally for you, how are you feeling after 5 games, albeit a relatively quick 5 games?
I was sore. It didn't feel quick. I was sore before I started after about a 15-minute hit yesterday, so I actually can't feel my body sitting here, but I think when I move, there may be a slight cramp everywhere.
Yeah, all right,
That's
well,
all right, I'm happy.
I'll let you go and get warmer, and thank you very much, Lance, and
Cheers,
well
Dave.
done. Albeit it wasn't quite the way you wanted, you can go and tell Leo that he was lucky.
Oh well, I'll be back.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not me.
It was a good match. It was entertaining. We like being entertained. Oh no, it's really good. Yeah, absolutely. It's good fun. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.
And underway in this, the final contest of day 1 of week 3. It is Chileshe and the grey. In fact, they're both wearing very similar. Chileshe about to serve now as it goes up to 3-love against Michael Shelton-Agar. Shelton-Agar from the Remuera Club in Auckland plays some slightly unorthodox shots at times, but just hangs in there and has won a number of games throughout this competition by doing so. Whereas Chileshe won the first week of the tournament and also has a current world ranking as well. His PSA world ranking sits at 337 in the world at the moment. Chileshe also won his first PSA tournament. It was the satellite tournament at Eden Epsom. That would have been just before the lockdown. Here's one of the 2 players who lives on site, along with Joel Arscott. They live here at SquashXL. Oh, ball doing the little bit of the die, and that, particularly in that backhand corner for the right-handers. And just to review the previous winners tonight, Joel Arscott in 3 over Jack Conder. Leo Fatialofa, 13-11. And the 5th over Lance Beddoes. And then just Elijah Thomas in 4 games over Glenn Templeton. So Chileshe racing through this to a 7-2 lead. Nothing too spectacular to certainly. Oh, now everybody should know that you need to take the ball early, because if it hits those back corners at the moment, it's going to die fairly quickly. We're getting on to 8:30 at night. Tomorrow though, and Sunday will be afternoon and early evening games. And anybody can actually come along to watch, because in New Zealand you're allowed 100 people to come along to a sporting event such as this. At the moment, New Zealand has a pretty good record dealing with the coronavirus. 22 deaths total. Very unfortunate. But no one in hospital anymore. And only a few cases at all. Fairly quick serve there you get from Shelton-Agar. There's no mucking around on it. In many ways he lures an opponent to a false sense of security, but there's a good finish from Chileshe to take the first game, 11-3. So make sure you tune in tomorrow from 3 p.m. New Zealand time, and also on Sunday it'll be the second round and more playoff matches, and then on Sunday it'll be the playoffs. 7th and 8th, 5th and 6th, 3rd and 4th, and then the grand final as well. And from what we've seen, well, Elijah Thomas will be playing certainly in the 3rd or 4th or the final, and our other Timwa Chileshe and also Joel Arscott, they seem to be the 3 players who have really excelled so far. And good to have a mix-up of players as well. We had Anthony Lepper there before, we've had Mason Smales, and also Lance Beddoes as well. Who knows who will turn up for week 4, the final week. It'll be next weekend. So plenty of good squash to be had, and it's been really good for these players as well. 7 or 8 weeks without play, and then they were able to play in this particular tournament, the Unsquashable Premier League, because Interclub around the Auckland region starts next month, mid-June, and various tournaments for the juniors also around about that time as well. So the first game, Timwa Chileshe taking that 11-3 in just over 5 minutes. And now set to get underway with game number 2 against Michael Shelton-Agar. So we're back, and it is Timwa Chileshe looking very steady. He is very sure and steady. We're saying that the referee for this particular match is Glenn Templeton, pretty much straight off the court after a 4-game loss to Elijah Thomas, and now he's on the scoreboard. Nothing too spectacular from Timwa Chileshe just yet. He's doing what he needs to do and being very professional about it. Yeah, well played by Timwa Chileshe. A lot of players would have gone for a bigger shot. Just a little bit of confusion there. Who was actually going to be serving? Just about dropped away too much. Got to be careful you don't let the ball drop too low in either side. The length, a real bonus. So again, he's just continuing on his first game form. Chileshe, the winner of this tournament in week 1, semi-finalist week 2. There he goes, wrapping up at game number 2 here against Shelton-Agar. Again, very efficient. That's all he needs to do. Wrapping up 11-4. And back with game number 3. Very shortly. Chileshe staying out on court, just practicing his backhands down the line. To game number 3, and it is 2 games to love to Chileshe. 1 love already, and that's the 3rd game against Michael Shelton-Agar. Got that drive down, the forehand side did not work on that occasion. All right, let's see whether with Chileshe we can wrap this up quickly. So far it's taken 14 minutes for just over 2 games. He looks as though he doesn't feel like staying out too long. Shelton-Agar does have a habit of looking as though he's behind and then just forcing his way back in. He's one of those players who is annoyingly hanging around, frustrating the opposition. Even in this rally. Well, just taking his time, Shelton-Agar, hanging there, making his opponent do all the work, and then comes up with something like that. Again, Shelton-Agar forcing the pace in this one, but then beaten by a top shot. So after a good start, it is Shelton-Agar down 4-8 against Chileshe, who won the first two games. And just errors like that, trying to force it too soon, too early. Here's what he was practicing during the break. Down the backhand wall, with the switch over to the forehand. Too much. And this is a match ball. 10-4. Yeah, Timwa, you didn't need to do that. And that's the sort of thing that Shelton-Agar can do. You get all these match balls and it just reels off a couple of points. But not this time. It is a win to Chileshe. He goes through, and that is 11-3, 11-4, and 11-6. So a straight game win for Chileshe over Michael Shelton-Agar. And that takes him through to the next round. It will be an interesting couple of matches coming up tomorrow when we do have Fatialofa. He'll take on Joel Arscott in one semi-final, and in the other one, well, it's a replay of last week, Elijah Thomas against Chileshe. But stick around tomorrow and Sunday from 3 p.m. New Zealand time for plenty of good matches to come. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far today.